Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. With the Omicron variant seemingly on the downturn, many more arts and entertainment events are opening up. On this episode, I'll be discussing concerts going on at MassMocha and Berkshire Theatre Group, plus a comedian performing at the Mahawie Theatre. Additionally, I'll be talking about a road trip you can take to see 5 museums for the price of 1. In some unfortunate news, however, I'll be talking about the closing of a local movie theater. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, in honor of both the Olympics and Black History Month, who was the first African American to win gold at the Winter Olympics? Now, for this week's local headlines. First, an update on mask mandates in local schools. On February 9th, Governor Charlie Baker announced that schools will no longer have a mask mandate at the end of the month. Schools can now start easing their mask policies if they wish. However, students must still wear masks on buses, as this is part of a federal mask mandate. Individual school districts may or may not go on their own basis, however. Now, for an update on the Pittsfield 4th of July parade. For the first time in 2 years, the parade will be held. The Pittsfield Parade Committee recently announced that the theme of this year's parade will be Back with a Bang, according to Parade Committee President Peter Marchetti. In a press release, he stated, quote, "We want to make this particular parade extra special for the community as a way of saying thank you for sticking together through this time of difficulty, as well as for their tremendous support they've shown for previous parades," end quote. The parade committee will work with Ray Pulvey from Upbeat Parade Productions to add more music groups, entertainment groups, and local and national personalities to the parade. Stay tuned to WWHEN for more information. In some unfortunate entertainment news, the popular Regal Cinemas at the former Berkshire Mall is now permanently closed. This comes after it had to be closed twice due to the pandemic. Outside the door, there is a sign that reads the following, quote, "This location has been permanently closed. All ticket sales will be refunded. If you have any questions, contact Regal through their Twitter or Facebook pages, or contact us at regmovies.com. We apologize for the inconvenience," end quote. The sign did not indicate why the cinema complex closed, and Regal Cinemas could not be reached for comment. However, there are 2 other Regal Cinemas under the same management that closed recently. One was located in Branford, Connecticut, and the other was located in Brooklyn, New York. Since the Berkshire Mall opened in 1988, there has always been some type of a movie theater. Now it is just the latest victim of the mall's struggles. Target is now the only building at the former Berkshire Mall, which has undergone a near complete closure beginning in 2014. But Target bought the property it sits on. There are still multiple movie theaters located in Berkshire County. They include the Beacon Cinemas in Pittsfield, the Movieplex in North Adams, Images Cinema in Williamstown, and the Triplex Cinema in Great Barrington. The recent closure of the Regal Cinemas has also thrown WWHEN for a loop. Prior to this episode, I was planning on reviewing the new science fiction film Moonfall, which is currently in theaters. However, for some unknown reason, Beacon Cinemas in Pittsfield was not showing this movie, and was the only theater in Berkshire County not to be doing so. I sent an email to the Beacon asking why, but I did not hear back from them. WWHEN will still be doing movie reviews. It just might be less movies that are playing in theaters, and more movies coming on demand, as well as more of RT's favorite films. The Winter Olympics are officially finished. While medal totals were incomplete by the time this episode went to press, there have been several athletes with ties to New England that have been doing very well. For instance, in women's slopestyle, snowboarder Julia Marino, who is from Westport, Connecticut, won the silver medal, which was the first medal for the United States at these particular games. Also, Vermont native and snowboard cross racer Lindsay Jacobellis finally won a gold medal, 16 years after an infamous fall cost her gold. And also from Vermont, Ryan Cochran Seigel, who won the silver medal in the men's downhill. Nearly 50 years to the day that his mother Barbara won a gold medal in the slalom. If you also remember, on my last episode, I discussed how Pittsfield-born luger Chris Masder was competing in his 4th Olympic Games. Here's the update on what happened at his event. Masder finished 8 out of 35 athletes in the men's single luge, only finishing seconds behind the winner. This comes off a difficult season, as Masder was recovering from a broken foot, which can be devastating in the sport of luge. Masder says that this will be his final Olympic Games, as he will be spending time with his wife and newborn son. However, athletes have a tendency to unretire frequently, so maybe he'll be back for the 2026 Games in Milan, Italy. The Winter Olympics also brings us the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, who was the first African American to win a gold medal at the Winter Olympics? The answer is Vonetta Flowers. Flowers won her gold medal in the 2-woman bobsled race at the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah. Her success is made more impressive by a few facts. She grew up in Alabama, where it almost never snows. She was originally a track and field athlete and narrowly missed qualifying for the Summer Olympics twice. Disappointed that her career was going nowhere in track, she spotted a flyer at the 2000 Summer Olympic Trials, encouraging track and field athletes to join the bobsled team as pushers because of their speed and strength. Flowers learned the sport very quickly, and along with Jill Bakken, won the first ever gold medal for women's bobsledding. Even more impressively, it was later revealed that Flowers was 2 months pregnant at the time with twin boys. Now for a concert happening at Mass MoCA. Dion Jones is a musician and artist with one of the most important voices of his generation. Jones created his first recording project, a rendition of the U2 song Sunday Bloody Sunday, after he was involved with the 2020 summer protests for racial injustices. The recording, which is included in fellow artist Glenn Cayano's In the Light of a Shadow, which is currently on display at Mass MoCA, has been hailed by Rolling Stone magazine and U2 themselves as transformative, while the Boston Globe magazine praised it as, quote, a performance with clarifying power, end quote. Jones will bring his transformative energy to Mass MoCA's Hunter Center. Jones was supposed to be performing this in January, but after he tested positive for COVID, he delayed the concert until March. Dion Jones will be performing at Mass MoCA's Hunter Center on Saturday, March 19th at 8 p.m. An hour before the concert, artist Glenn Cayano, who, as stated earlier, worked with Dion on his Sunday Bloody Sunday record, will be signing autographs prior to the show. Tickets can be purchased online at massmoca.org. As usual, masks, proof of vaccine, and ID are required. There will be some frank discussions about the 2020 civil rights protests, so this concert may not be acceptable for young children. Speaking of concerts, I've mentioned in the past how Berkshire Theatre Group and the Colonial Theatre in Pittsfield have been a haven for cover bands over the past few months. In March, another cover band will be performing. This one will be Moondance. They will be performing hits from classic rock and roll artist Van Morrison. Moondance has performed all over the Northeast, from clubs in New York City and Boston, and even places like Toronto. They bring a high energy to their cover songs and will be performing Morrison's most well-known work. Moondance will be playing on Saturday, March 12th at 8 p.m. at the Colonial Theatre in Pittsfield. Tickets can be purchased online at berkshiretheatregroup.org. As usual, masks, proof of ID, and vaccination proof are required for this event. Now, for a stand-up comedian performing at the Mahawie Theatre in Great Barrington. With more than 20 years of experience as a stand-up comedian, Tom Papa is one of the top comedic voices in the country today. He has found success as an author in film, television, radio, podcasts, and of course, live stand-up. He recently released his second book, You're Doing Great and Other Reasons to Stay Alive, and filmed a live version of this book to great success on Netflix. He also contributes frequently to New Yorker magazine and Parade magazine. Tom Papa will be performing Friday, March 11th at 8 p.m. at the Mahawie Theatre. There are still plenty of tickets available. To purchase yours, visit mahawie.org, then click on Events, then click on Tom Papa. Masks, proof of vaccine, and ID are required. Have you ever wanted to explore the ocean floor? Or wanted to travel 20,000 leagues under the sea? A new exhibit at the Berkshire Museum called Voyage to the Deep will allow you to do just that. Based off of iconic French novelist Jules Verne's 1870 classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the exhibit brings to life the deep-sea adventures of characters Captain Nemo and his crew via an interactive model of the Nautilus ship described in the book as shown here. The exhibit spans 2 rooms of the second floor of the museum and is designed to allow visitors to explore the ocean depths. This allows them to take up the controls at the helm, peer through the telescopes, crank the propeller, test out the bunks, and explore Captain Nemo's Cabinet of Curiosities, which is full of wonderful marine specimens. This is a nationwide exhibit and was previously shown in cities all across America, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to San Antonio, Texas. In an interview with the Berkshire Eagle, co-executive director of the Berkshire Museum, Craig Langlois, said, quote, "When finalizing the 2022 exhibition schedule, we wanted to push ourselves to think outside the box and utilize our new capital improvements while maintaining the high quality, inspiring experience our patrons have come to expect when they walk through our doors. Inspiration for such exhibitions is rooted in our mission and collections," end quote. The theme of exploration will be further highlighted as items from the first North Pole exploration will be on full display. These were originally donated by Zenas Crane, who was on Robert Peary's original 1908-1909 exposition and donated them to start the creation of the museum. Voyage of the Deep is running at the Berkshire Museum from now until May 8th. The museum is open Mondays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. To purchase tickets, visit the Berkshire Museum's website at berkshiremuseum.org. Mask, proof of vaccination, and ID as usual are required. With winter vacation now upon us, now is a good time to go on a road trip. This week's trip is interesting because in Springfield, you can visit 5 museums for the price of 1. These 5 museums are located within a block and are good for a wide variety of interests. The first is the George Walter Vincent Smith Art Museum. This was the first museum in the city of Springfield. It holds collections of artwork from both Smith and his wife, Bella Townsley, who most notably collected art from Italians. Next, the Springfield Science Museum offers the chance to see dinosaurs, fish fossils, and a live aquatic center. Interesting fact, this used to be Springfield's City Hall before it was transformed into a museum in 1899. Next, the Michelle and Donald Walmour Museum of Fine Arts includes a comprehensive collection of American and European paintings, prints, watercolors, and sculptures, as well as a large collection of Japanese prints and representative examples of drawings, furniture, metalwork, textiles, glass, and ceramics. Afterwards, you can visit the Lyman and Mary Wood Museum of Springfield history. This is known for its local history research facilities, diverse educational offerings, and the largest collection of Indian motorcycles in the world. Finally, the last trip is to the amazing world of Dr. Seuss, the newest museum out of the bunch. This museum features family-friendly, interactive examples dedicated to Springfield's famous native son, and gives a history behind Dr. Seuss's, whose real name was Theodore Geisel, creative mindset throughout his many classic children's novels. All of the museums are located on Edward Street, which is about 1.5 hours away from Berkshire County. The hours of all the museums are Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online at springfieldmuseums.org. This next bit is very important. When purchasing tickets online, you must select a time to enter the Dr. Seuss Museum in order to complete the transaction. However, you are not required to actually visit it. All of the other museums are covered under general admissions and are not timed. Masks, proof of vaccine, and IDs are required at all times. Please also note that some parts of some museums have capacity limits. Visit springfieldmuseums.org for more information. That ends this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHEN episode again, you can visit Pittsfield TV's and CTSB TV's websites shown here, or visit NBCTC's Facebook page. Also, if you would like to see the episodes in HD quality, make sure to check out my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.